Buddy.
Hello, everybody. I'm here.
Whew.
There I am. I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm Lizzie, and this is Sean.
It's good to see you.
And we are from Pashta Design.
That's right.
And we are going to stitch with you today.
We're going to stitch live with you today as soon as we turn off our notifications on our electronic on our pocket.
Did you know we just went live?
On our pocket distraction
Because apparently
rectangles.
I needed to know that.
Please, if you're at home and if you also want to turn off your pocket distraction rectangle, you may do so now. And if you're joining us live, thank you. If you're watching later in the day, because you can't be here live at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, thank you. Yeah, thanks for being here whenever you can. We're happy you're here.
Sorry, we're a little bit Hot Mess Express today, but we're doing our best.
The chat is fired up today. A lot of people saying hello, hello, hello. We've got a lot of folks who are excited because this last weekend was a big one for us.
It was.
We released Christmas in July.
Christmas in July.
And we released a new kit.
Yes.
Called the Baker's Dozen Kit.
We did.
And it sold rapidly.
It did.
And so we're restocking it right now.
We are.
Remember, kits are always available for 12 months after they're released.
Correct.
So the intention was always that there would be more kits if you didn't get one of the very first ones.
Yes.
But we have more that are in production as we speak.
And we have a pre-order available right now if you want to get your name in for one of the very first ones that we have prepped. We hope to have them out quickly.
Yeah.
But
they're super cute. I'm holding on to some samples, right? I just so happen to have like are these the samples you used when you made the video?
Yes.
Oh, so when Lizzie made the video that comes with that kit, it just so happened that I'm right here on the same table.
Yeah, I hadn't finished those or put them away.
Yes.
Clearly.
So
but in addition to the kit that we released, we also released the Kringle crew.
Ooh, the Kringle crew.
And today we're going to work on Santa Claus.
Those are spelled both with K's. K for Kringle and then... No?
No.
Oh, you didn't do that?
No.
It's Kringle and then...
Sean Jones.
I'm just going to go ahead and
I told you
update.
I wasn't going to do that.
Oh, well, guess what? Now the title of today's YouTube has been updated. It now has not a K and then another K.
I try and avoid as many repetitive Ks as humanly possible.
Yeah,
personally.
I totally understand that. I just assumed incorrectly. Okay, great. It's good to be on the same page again.
The irony of that little mistake is that we're doing a multicultural Santa Claus today because I wanted to. So
that's great. I don't know. There are little crowns with number 1s and number 2s here in the chat. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
I don't know what that means at all. I don't have a clue what that means.
Sorry,
so.
what does that mean?
That's great.
Yeah, so today we're going to work on Santa Claus. And as I mentioned, we're a little bit of a Hot Mess Express, so I have forgotten to bring over both the die and the sample that I made during the release. But if you look at our blog, it's day 2 of the countdown, or of the introduction.
You're going to get a great look at it when we finish it today in real time. And maybe if I was better with graphics on this thing, I would be able to just like wave those in front of the screen.
Instead, I will show you all of the pieces.
So let's go to the tabletop.
Yeah.
Let's go to the tabletop right now.
Yes.
There it is. The tabletop.
The tabletop.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So we're going to need... Here, let me get my booklet out of the way there. We've got his beard.
There is a beard for Santa. Okay.
A mustache.
A mustache.
Yes. We have his face.
His face.
And his nose.
Oh, his little button nose.
His little button nose.
Okay.
And we have his... Sorry, momentarily I'm giving pieces over here.
It turns out the crowns do go out for people who are chatty. That's great. Okay. In a little chat.
Fabulous.
Awesome.
We have 2 of his hat.
We have 2 Santa Claus hats.
Correct.
Excellent.
We have the full back beard situation.
His back beard. Okay, sure.
Yes. Okay. And then we have 2 hat cuffs.
2 hat cuffs.
And we have 2 pom-poms.
Uh-huh.
I've got all the pieces on there, right?
It does. It looks like you've got all the pieces on there.
And then today, just for funsies, we're going to add some holly.
Some holly.
And this holly is the one from All Aglow. But, and this is the big holly that I just cut in half.
Okay.
And then one of the individual holly leaves and berries.
There you go. So those are all the components, and we're going to pull them
Yes.
together and stitch Santa before your very eyes.
Before your very eyes. I meant to bring over the excuse me, the PDF as well, or the instruction sheet too, so people would have that, so that I could make sure that I was doing it exactly as the instruction sheet noted. But you'll all just have to take my word.
Yeah, we're going to follow along here. It looks like you're already pulling out some thread.
Yes. So I mentioned this in one of the blog posts, but 3371 is one of my favorite colors to use for the eyes on these characters.
Okay, 3371.
Yes, because it's not as harsh as black. It sort of gives me like anyone who's ever worn mascara. It gives me black brown mascara vibes.
Oh.
Like it's such a dark brown that it's almost black but not quite. So I like using this for eyes.
Okay. And so the first thing that we're going to stitch today, because I have not stitched a Santa Claus.
Yes.
Or any other member of the
Kringle
Kringle
crew.
C crew.
That's right.
The KC in the Sunshine crew. So I've not stitched them together. And so it looks like the first thing we're going to do is get his face done.
I'd start with the facial features.
Okay, we're going to start with the facial features. Here we go.
So I am pulling 3 strands of thread.
It's great the way that you have the pieces there on the table where you've got like a little white circle above his beard and a little button nose. He looks like he has like an eye patch. He looks like Santa Claus is, what's his name, Russell from Escape from LA? You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
But you could maybe make Santa into a pirate if you wanted to. He could be like Blackbeard the pirate. If you made, now I want to do that so bad. Oh, be prepared for that to become a thing. Okay.
Okay.
So 3 strands of thread, and we're just going to use a running stitch. So I'm starting in the back here. Am I in frame? Not even.
I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. Victoria's aghast that I haven't stitched anything. I have a great idea for a stitching project for Santa, but let's let Liz go and do her thing first. We're not going to say what the idea is.
He has an idea.
I've had my first original idea ever.
He has an idea.
It's a pretty original idea. But we're not going to say what it is.
He has an idea.
Okay. So I'm sorry. You keep stitching. What you're doing first are the eyeballs, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You're doing the eyeballs on Santa's face.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I might be able to adjust the camera even a little further. You like what?
I like that. I like using a darker color on the eyes because then it's like your eyelashes. Like I was gonna say nobody's eyelashes are white, but that's not entirely true. I suppose. Well, no. Are anybody's eyelashes white? Do they go white when they?
I don't know. This is the thing where the camera takes away our IQ points. I'm not sure about white eyelashes.
I don't know if you get white eyelashes. I know people get white eyebrows.
Victoria's already suggested a details die for this Kringle crew, an eye patch and a parrot.
That's funny.
And Nikki did point out that Kurt Russell from Escape from LA does play Santa now. So there you have it.
That's true. He does.
He
in
does.
The Kringle Chronicles, I believe, or something. Christmas Chronicles,
so
something
I'm looking
like that.
forward
It's on
to
Netflix.
Kurt Russell Escape from the North Pole.
I think, isn't Goldie Hawn Mrs. Claus?
I have no idea if that's the case.
I'm almost positive.
Anybody else in the chat, let us know if Goldie Hawn is Mrs. Claus or not.
Did you just call her Goldie Hawn?
What did you say?
Hawn.
Goldie Hawn.
Okay.
What did I miss? Did I miss a W?
No, you added a D at the end.
Oh, no, there's no D at the end.
There's no D at the end.
Yeah, I was not trying to say it with a D at the end.
It's like when Tilly says dinner with a T. And I'm like, girl, there's no T in dinner.
Deb reports that people with albinoism have white eyelashes.
Albinism?
Albinism?
Yes.
Christmas Chronicles, and Renee says yes, she is. Okay, so there's Goldie.
Dang.
Wow.
Look at that. Pulling out my knowledge.
Here, and you said is that a Netflix thing or that's a Hallmark Channel thing?
I don't know.
Or is that a feature film thing?
I don't know if it's a feature film. I know it's on Netflix.
In the Christmas Chronicles.
Yes.
That makes it, calling it Christmas Chronicles to me makes it sound like a book that got turned into a film. I don't know if that's right at all.
Sure.
We have a lot of people coming in and saying hello. It's great to see you all here. Welcome.
All right. So then we're going to line up the beard.
Lining up the beard is next.
Yes. You know what's funny?
Yeah, what's
Even
funny?
though I have designed this thing, and I know that it works, I know that it's correct, I still freak out every time I do something in front of other people. I'm looking for I missed a...
You missed a what?
A hole. I'm trying to...
When you punched it out, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you poked out your holes?
Every time I freak out that it's going to be wrong for the first time ever in front of other people.
You could be to the left about another 3 inches, just so you know. Just so you know. My hubby has very blonde eyelashes, but not technically white.
Not technically white.
That's okay. That's okay, Tracy. You could have just said that they were... You wouldn't have to explain yourself, Tracy.
Near white?
Tracy's
eyelashes.
Worried that when she brings her husband to our tour that I'm going to be like, hey, wait a minute.
There's a guy with white eyelashes.
July 8th, I was promised.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to use 3865.
3865. That's the shade that we always use for white.
Yes.
Yes. Whenever I go into the boxes to restock felt, or thread, sorry, when I go in the boxes to restock thread, I find lots of boxes of 3865.
Not soon, buddy, because they were out of stock when I went to go reorder more from our distributor. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to use up several of those boxes.
Getting after it. Okay, and so what you're going to do is you're going to use the white thread to stitch his face onto his beard?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the mustache.
Mm.
Because that holds everybody into place.
I thought you were going to say because you love a mustache.
Well, I love it when it's connected to a beard.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You know this. Sean did Movember last year, and I couldn't look at him for like 3 weeks.
I did Movember last year. You keep ratcheting the number up. First it was 3 days. Now I'm finding out that it was 3 weeks, huh?
It's a tough thing to find out, isn't it?
Oh, boy. I'm going to bring it back just so that everybody in the chat can experience it.
Oh, no.
Going to bring it back so that everybody here.
No.
They're going to miss out. You're off camera there, miss.
Gosh darn it. Okay.
That's okay. There you go. There, now you're on it.
Clearly I have, well, I had to adjust the camera to do my video stuff for the kit, and I evidently did not adjust it.
That's okay.
So, I'm starting up here by the nose.
And you reminded me that we did have a Santa Claus before per se in our story.
The classic evergreen characters includes Santa Claus, but it's like a triangle.
Yeah, so that was where we had a Christmas tree, the classic evergreen Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could buy an add-on die that were characters so that you could turn your little tree, triangle-y pine tree shapes into a Santa Claus. But this is really like...
This is a classic.
This is his classic
Santa
debut
vibe.
Profile, yeah.
Yes.
Barbara says, hi everyone, sorry I'm late. No one has to apologize.
Barbara, we were late. A little bit.
A little bit. And then Tracy says that her husband did No Shave November, but it's lasted for 10 years.
Bring it.
Yeah, well, my beard is a seasonal beard.
Ooh.
So it comes and it goes with the seasons. Which is good because, you know, I'm in this tiny little box over here and, you know, maybe people can see my lips moving better now than they could when it was like January, February, March time.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice beard.
One person has just put into the chat what their preference is. No one else has to strike out and say if they prefer one or the other here during the live today. But, you know, I guess I'll read anything that lands in the chat. I will read anything there.
Yeah, well, you know.
You know.
Yeah, so we're just doing, again, running stitch. And we're going around. I start at the side of his nose because you're going to go to the other side of his nose. But you're not going to do his actual nose because that is what the nose layer is for. Okay,
so you're not going to sew through. There are holes there in the mustache for the nose. Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff on the table.
Jeez.
I tried to do everything I could.
I know.
You're saying that the mustache has holes.
Yes.
In the face, I assume, underneath it.
Yeah.
To line up the nose, but we're not going to go through those holes right now. And we're not going to go through the nose holes right now.
Not through the nose holes, no.
Yeah, we're not going to go through the nose holes right now.
Correct.
And as you're stitching around, because this is his mustache and then his beard.
I'm sorry, you can barely see it.
No, you're doing great. You're doing okay.
Camera. Shoot.
I just didn't know if there are other stitches that, you know, might be used for someone who really wanted to what's the word I'm looking for? Like amp up the kind of bearded vibes here.
I think connecting them, I would stick with the running stitch. However, if you wanted to amp up the like facial hairiness of things,
yeah,
you could always use straight stitches to add like individual whiskers.
Some little individual whiskers down below. Okay. So you wouldn't necessarily like chain stitch the outside because Santa's got some kind of braided situation happening on the outside of his beard.
I mean,
could you add like a rat?
I would know.
Could you add like a rat tail to the front of his beard? Some kind of thread.
You know, if you wanted a rat tail, there is like a ponytail option in the Jolly Elf.
Oh, so
and you could give Santa a rat tail.
You could give Santa a rat tail if you wanted to.
I don't know why you would.
The first thing that crossed my
you
mind
can.
when you said that was to sit here and go dur 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 dur.
So we've also learned that in addition to pirates, this die can create ZZ Top.
ZZ Top or some kind of Harley Davidson aficionado. If you get out your orange and black felt, perhaps you could have someone who is bad.
Bad.
Yes.
To the bone, as it were.
Whoa, hang on. Did Lizzie just carry some thread across holes instead of tying that end on?
No.
Slippery slope, Lizzie. Slip. Someone thinks that you're slipping over there.
I'm not. There's no carryover. I doubled back.
Oh, she doubled back. That's great. And there are also some people, with regards to the beard question, there seems to be a predilection for veterans once they've left the armed services to grow that beard and never let it go.
That's right.
That's happened to at least 2 people in the chat here.
Well, you know.
All right.
I think it's handsome to have a beard.
Everyone thinks it's handsome to have a beard. It's also handsome to have a regular face.
A beard is a regular face.
You know what I'm saying. And I noticed you did not say, I think it's handsome to have a regular face, right? Okay.
I love your face.
Thanks.
I have loved your face for more than 20 years.
So then when you're done with the mustache, is that when you're going to pull together the front beard and the back beard? And stitch around the outside edges of them? No. Okay.
No.
What happens?
Why don't you just follow along with
Well, because I
else?
always like to let people know where we're going, not just where we are.
I do the front, and then I do the back, and then we bring them both together. So, like, you'll have a full front, and you'll have a full back. And then you'll bring them together, and then you'll have a full Santa Claus.
Okay. Tracy said ZZ Top was my first concert. I asked my boyfriend when they were taking the beards off because I thought they were fake. All right.
That's funny.
There you go.
I like it.
And their response, I hope that her boyfriend's response to that question was,
oh boy. I got myself a knot here, so give me just a second.
That's okay. Give me all your Santas and all your hugs and kisses too, while you're working that knot out. Is it because your thread was too long?
It's not.
Okay, excellent.
It's because it got twisted on itself when I separated my threads.
Okay.
And now it's being a pain.
No, I'm surprised that Santa's hat on the table today is a petal or satin slipper color there.
I'm using the Sweet Dreams color story.
Oh, excellent.
And I thought it would be cute.
It is very cute.
To use petal. And then I'm going to bring in the darker pink, the ripe raspberry with the holly berries.
This is great. Now I have all of your plans in front of me here, ready to go.
I am just sharing all the deets, I guess.
Can't wait.
But yes, so that was my thinking here. Because I did the Santa, when I did my Santa during the release introduction. I did a pretty traditional, I used red currant, but he was a pretty traditional Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to switch things up today.
Switch it up a little bit.
Because I thought it'd be fun. And I am a big believer that Santa belongs to everyone.
Santa absolutely belongs to everyone. And I was just going to say that if folks are here in the chat or watching later haven't gone to the blog, gone to pashtadesign.com/blogs, or just gone to the website and clicked on the blogs, There's a wealth of information there for you.
I do.
And
try.
you can learn about the products and learn about the different projects that you did and that Audrey did
And that Renee
and
did.
that Renee did.
And that Emily did.
You can read about all of that without me interrupting. That's the best part about it. Unless you decide to open the blogs up while you're watching this video,
in which case,
at the same time.
you'll still hear the chit chat.
You'll still hear the chit chat, but the blogs are great.
Yeah, and you know, that's one of the best things about, I think, being able to make your own projects is that you can use whatever colors you feel like using.
You
like,
can. People are in the chat. Barbara's saying she's got some blue suited Santas and some green suited Santas. My grandmother has
collect them.
a gigantic collection of Santa Claus. I have seen all the Santa Clauses.
I have gotten several Santas from her myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have given her several Santas.
And of course, Audrey slid in there to say that everything is better in pink.
Well, you know.
We know that about you, Audrey. We know.
And you know, I just listen. We live in rural Ohio, right? So when it comes to like, there are two types of people who buy the multicultural Santa Claus wrapping paper.
Uh-huh.
There's people who do it on purpose, like myself. And then there's people who do it by accident and then find out on Christmas Day, oh yeah, that is not the typical white Santa Claus, isn't it? And then I somehow end up with said wrapping paper anyway. So, you know,
Oh,
I think representing everybody is.
Nikki said it'd be fun to do a rainbow of Santas on a little tree.
Oh, totally.
And Deb said she looked at the blog for the first time this weekend, and it is great. See, that's awesome.
Yay.
And Deb mentioned very at the beginning of the chat, I didn't even say it, that she's glad to be here today because she was helping at a 4-H fashion / sewing event last Tuesday, so that she missed it.
That's very exciting.
She missed it.
Well, it was silliness is what it was.
Was it with you or with Dan this weekend at the 4th of July festival that I was talking about a splinter cell 4-H? Were you around for that? Or no, that must have just
I
been
think that was Dan.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and sew his bottom lip now as well. I'm still using the white. I'm going to come underneath the mustache layer. You could do this first, but I like to put the mustache on first just to make sure everything is nice and
centered
and secure.
and anchored down. So you're going underneath the mustache?
Yeah, there's a hole there.
You're sewing
There's a hole. I'm just coming between. Oh, I totally missed the hole in the back there, though.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm coming through the back.
Uh-huh.
Up through that hole that's underneath, and then I'm going between the mustache and the beard layers.
Got it. I can see that now. You've got that. You held that perfectly so that people could see what was
good.
happening there.
I'm glad.
That really got it on the camera. Meanwhile, the chat is curious. Elaine earlier said that she's loving Santa's hat. Can't wait until her comes so that she can see if it will work with the popsicle. And then someone else says, hey, wait a minute. What are you planning on for Santa with the popsicle? So now I'm on the edge of my seat too. Some kind of like...
I don't know. Now I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Inquiring minds, Elaine.
Renee says she has some multicultural Santa fabric and she can't use it because she loves it so much.
It's, you know what? I just think it makes things better. I've got several rolls now of paper, some of which I purchased and some of which were given to me after surprise Christmas revelations.
There you go.
Either way, it's great.
Nice to see you too, Shari. Shari saying hello.
Hi, Shari.
She has joined us. Shari, we're stitching Santa, okay?
We are stitching Santa.
We're getting his face attached to his mustache and beard right now.
All right, so then I'm just going to tie that off as well.
Some lip stitches.
Lip stitches.
Usually when you're using needles around lips, it's very painful, but Santa seems to be...
He's doing okay. He's a good patient.
He seems to be doing fine.
Nonplussed.
Do you think that Santa would ever get like ho 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 tattooed on the inside of his lips? Do you think he would you roll it down and that's where it says on the inside of his lips?
I think you and I imagine Santa as being very different people. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I think so too. I cannot imagine a tattooed Santa. Tattooed Santa sounds like a popular music Christmas song that hasn't been written yet.
Sure. I bet it has. Did the waitresses do it or something? All right. So there's Santa, his lip, and we're gonna do the sides of his sideburns there.
Okay. Nikki says hipster Santa. No, Nikki, that would be lipster Santa. That's what that would be. Okay.
Oh,
lipster
no.
Santa.
You went there. So proud of yourself. I can hear it.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Sharon, want to make a Santa and snowman popsicles. Been thinking about this for some time. Oh, got it. Huh, okay. She's been thinking about it for some time. I want to know how long, Elena. Please let me know how long you've been thinking about this. Can you remember when the idea first crossed your mind? And if so, just, put it in the chat.
All right. Here's, again, I'm using 3 strands. I use 3 strands for pretty much all the things. And again, just like before, we're going to go between the mustache and the beard base.
We use the 3 strands. The 6 strand, how often do 6 strands will get used for, say, like a Lazy Daisy stitch?
I used 6 strands, yes, for the Lazy Daisy, but I also used it when I did the Gingerbread Village kit because it's thicker, so it looks like piping to me.
Are there other people in the chat can let me know? Are there other instances? Because I, as a young person, cross stitching, always remember that you were either using 2 or 3. So I don't know who out there is just, taking the bull by the horns.
Some people like the way that looks. The really bold look.
I just imagine that the people who are using all 6 strands, they're like hang gliders or something. You know what I mean? They're like whitewater rafters. They're the kind of people.
They're extreme sports.
They are the kind of people just living vigorously. They're getting that DMC and they're just ripping the top, ripping the bottom off, and just pulling that thread out and just right into the needle, and then they're just going for it, man. They're just stitching.
I like using 3 because 2 is good too, but I like using 3 because it's even when you go to to pull out the threads that you want to use. But I know some people like 4, and I'm like, well, why not just do 3? Because then it's even. But whatever. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum.
You're saying you would not be a kind of person to use 4 strands because then...
No, because then it's not.
Then you'd have to go through 2 in order to...
you got to go through 3 lengths to get an
that's
even
where it's the symmetry that bothers you there, huh?
It is.
Okay.
You know how I feel about symmetry.
Kelly's with us today stitching the poinsettia ornaments.
Ooh,
and that's the first flower? Was poinsettia, was that the first flower?
No.
In Posh the History? No, what was the first flower?
I don't know.
Okay, well.
But probably the autumn floral details for the pumpkin.
Got it.
I had to guess.
Audrey used 6 strands of metallic thread for Mrs. Claus's glasses. Audrey, everyone in the chat knows how difficult metallic thread is. I can't believe you put yourself through what I imagine must have been just the most difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I only used 3 because I also did not want to have to fuss. But it would make her... See, that's another place that does make sense to me to use 6 strands, is to make something really bold stick out. But I did not use 6.
Barbara Beck, as usual, has hit me with it. Okay, so her mother used to use 4 strands, but she divided it into 2 strands and then folded
doubled
them and started going through the loop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it, man. People are thinking about stuff that I've never even thought about before. This is great.
I've heard that as well. But then I've heard people tell me that thread has a direction.
Whoa, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Please, let's do that.
And so if thread has a direction and you double it, then you've got half your thread going the wrong direction. And I think, and the reason, that's why people say, not me, because I don't really know about these things, but I've heard people say that that's the reason when you get when your thread twists on itself really badly, is because you've got it going the wrong direction.
Whoa, this is so amazing. I've covered my mouth with my hand. I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson has just entered this video. Thread has a direction. Yeah, the thread has a direction, and it's actually part of string theory and it's pulling us through
Wow.
a wormhole here.
Well, no wormholes for me, please. There's
Okay.
there's Santa Claus.
Okay.
With his sideburns and his mustache down. We're going to put on his nose.
That sounds great. A little nose for Santa.
A little nose for Santa.
Because right now it looks like he powdered his nose.
Well, yes.
Yes.
But we're going to use... I like a little contrast between the nose and the face. I don't know if I love it there. I did cut both of them, just in case. I think I like that better.
Yeah, I did not like that other nose. Okay. That was his eye patch.
That was his eye patch.
No one is...
I did both because I wasn't sure how I was going to like it when it was finished. And I figured it couldn't hurt. So 3862 is the thread that I use for...
No one has bit the hook on the thread having a direction, so...
That's fine. I don't know if it was absolute nonsense.
No, I'm about ready
or if it was real.
I'm about to, like... Thread? Well, it must... First of all, I don't know how thread is made. Right? Let me start by saying that.
She'll insist on watching a video.
I would not mind watching a video during lunch with Tilly about how thread is made. But first of all, I don't know how
that is when we watch our
thread is
videos.
Presumably, as thread is made, it is coming out of a machine.
Yes.
So in that sense, it must have a direction.
Yes, but wouldn't the direction be the same? Because like when you turn something over, it doesn't change the direction of the twist.
That also makes me wonder when they do the 6-strand floss. Do you think it's coming out of a machine as 6 strands that they're cutting and then rolling into the floss shape? Or do you think, like, which comes first there? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Are they cutting 6 lengths and then like pulling them together?
Twisting them together?
Or are they coming out like in a machine where 6 of them are kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of coming out at once? Oh, I really wish I knew this process here. Well, okay.
Don't worry, folks. He'll do a deep dive and report back. Trust me. Okay.
Audrey says she... Go ahead. Go ahead.
All I was going to say was we're going to sew on our nose.
Gonna sew on our nose.
3862. You can go crisscross, but I like to go in like a diamond shape. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way around.
Okay, Audrey says, I bet Andy would have an opinion on thread direction. Andy's having a busy week. I'm going to leave it at that. He's having a very busy week. Sorry.
Yeah.
Some stitchers seem to think there are way more rules than there should be. I don't believe it has a direction. I think that's lies.
I think it's bananas.
Nikki says we need big floss to share the secrets. Says when you're making a 9-strand rope, the first 3 sets of 3 are wound clockwise, then put together and twisted the other way. My hubby makes rope with scouts. I have made a 9-strand rope myself as well. I have done that at the old Scoutcraft.
Yield Scout.
I never worked at Scoutcraft. I worked at Boy Scout camp for 7 years.
Yes.
If that isn't obvious, I have big summer camp counselor energy. And yes, that part I know for sure. That the first 3 sets are wound one way and then they twist the other way. That part I did know.
That's far more.
Oh, Renee is very matter of fact. It does have a direction, she says. Okay.
See, and I don't think you're lying.
Renee and Shari, you guys just,
let's keep it civil.
Just keep it civil.
Here's the thing. I just sort of hope that I'm not telling anybody how to do things the wrong way. Does that make sense? Like, I am self-taught on most of this stuff, and my goal is always just to make sure I'm not teaching people the wrong thing. Okay, there's Santa Claus's face.
I'm just here to make sure that you're teaching people the Lizzie way.
Well,
because honestly,
that's not necessarily the right way. Is what I'm trying to say.
but it is a particular way.
Yes,
right.
I will say I am particular.
Yes,
in most of my ways,
and that's fine. What we're trying to do in the instructional videos is, I mean, there is definitely some part of the people who are here have seen not just your products, right? But the photos of your finished projects.
Yes.
And they are wondering sincerely, like, how
did I do it?
How did you do it?
Well,
and so to the extent that we're doing anything here in this room, it is at the very least like, let me explain to you.
I am showing you how.
Now, Renee says it's right-handed or left-handed. Something about a helix.
Okay, well, I am left-handed, so everything... Just reverse your cameras for all the things.
Wait a minute.
What? Oh,
Renee then said, hold on, Google led me in the wrong direction. This is screw threads.
Oh!
Okay, that's the helix part. Deb says this is, okay, that's similar to how I do a rope braid in my hair. I twist 2 sections one way and then twist them the other way together.
Okay, I'm going to do a thing now.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, I'm coming through essentially this hole right above his sideburn there.
Okay.
And then I'm working towards the end.
Okay.
To connect because you're connecting the cuff to Santa's head first here. So then I'm working I went towards the edge and then I'm going to work my way back.
You're working on his sideburns.
No.
No.
To start the cuff.
To start the cuff.
The hat.
The hat cuff trim.
I start through the hole that's essentially right above his sideburns.
Okay.
And then I work towards the edge.
Okay, so you're not working.
And then I double back.
You're not working to the forehead towards his nose. You're going out to the perimeter of his hat first.
Yes, but you're not going all the way to here.
Uh-huh.
Is that on screen? No.
Yeah, I can see it.
You're not going all the way to here.
Okay.
Because that is sort of like that hole is going to connect to the back. It doesn't have anything
to grab onto
right now.
Okay.
Yes. So you start here. So this way.
Uh-huh.
Then come back here and this way. So you're going to go towards the edge and then double back towards the middle.
Okay.
And then continue on as if you're just sewing a line. I hope all of that made sense.
Shari did eventually say that there is a direction to pull it from the skein. I do believe that.
Yes.
And Audrey says she agrees that. So is that what people mean when they say that thread has a direction? It's just it has a direction coming out of the skein.
The person that
and we've taken it too far.
No, the person that I saw talking about it was talking about the actual threads, like while you're stitching.
Oh.
Shari is absolutely right about that. If you pull your thread out, pull it from this end, from the number end.
Oh.
And it won't ever tangle. If you pull it from up here, Godspeed.
I could have used that information.
I have given you that information
roughly 30 years ago, let's say.
Oh, okay.
Roughly 30 years ago.
I was going to say, I gave you that information at the library when we were teaching at the class in the evening, and you ignored me completely and just, it ended up...
There was a lot going on when we were teaching at the library. You know, I was stitching in front of people for the first time.
You were.
Yeah.
Well, not the first time. You stitched with me on here before.
I usually...
But you mean like with actual...
I usually have been...
In the room.
I would pull the top and the bottom loopy loops off of the skein.
I know you did that thing.
How else does somebody do it?
Do that thing, because now it's a mess of thread. And you were like, what are you talking about? And I said, never mind.
Well, that's okay. I'm glad to have learned it then, forgotten it immediately, and now learned it again. And I look forward to the next time that I try to take thread out of a skein, pull it from the wrong direction, remember for the third time, for real this time, and then never making that mistake again. All
right. So here now I'm all the way to the end, the other end, and I'm going to just double back.
So you just did the bottom?
Yes, because I'll do the top here in just a second.
Okay, so when you're doing that, you're not sewing around the loop because, as you said earlier, there's nothing...
Well, in the sides, you're going to sew the front to the back. You're not... It's not...
That was so funny. You just said, on the sides, you're going to sew the front to the back. We have sides, front, and back all appearing in that sentence, but I'm with you. I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, you're going to sew the front of Santa Claus to the back of Santa Claus, and we don't have the back of Santa Claus sewn yet.
Okay. And so you will not be coming through these holes a second time, correct?
No.
Okay.
No, when we're doing, you always do interior lines first.
You always do interior. I guess I didn't know if the attachment would be all the way down across his forehead.
I mean, you could. I didn't.
Okay.
Because, so he is shaped such that you can make the whole front, the whole back, and then pop those bad boys together.
Oh, I think that's our first bad boy. We had to go a long time for that one today. Had to go a long time. Nothing says bad boy like a Kurt Russell Santa, by the way. With ho 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 tattooed inside his lip, you know what I mean?
Santa with lip tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we got here today, but here we are.
I have a couple of ideas how we got here today.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
No, this Santa is intended to be fairly easy to.
It is easy. I'm not used to. There's something about this particular project that because it's human features, where it's a little bit more I don't know, pieced out is I think the word that I'm looking for. It's less like here's the front, here's the back, and the shapes are like really super mirror imagey to each other. This is like,
well, yes and no. It is super mirror imagey. You just don't know it till you get all the parts put together. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes. It's just, this is, we're assembling, this is an assemblage of parts.
Tis.
Here.
There we go. So there's his, we're kind of working from the bottom up, essentially.
And so what is the next move that you're about to take us through?
Put his hat on.
You're going to put his hat on. Okay, then I will stop scratching my head and I will put my own hat back on.
Sorry, now I'm attempting to separate my thread, but I broke one of my fingernails today, so I don't have it as easily to separate.
At like 12:57 today, I thought that maybe I should have gotten the Santa hat and I should have worn that.
It's in Tilly's bedroom
for the video today, but we didn't have enough time to even get here on time, let alone.
Tilly sometimes wears it just for fun around because. So I think it's in her room, but it could be downstairs. The last time I saw it, I think it was in her room.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. She's a funny kid, man. All right. Threads. Got them. Just poke myself.
I'm still trying to think about whether or not I would like blanket stitch something like this or Shari says she does that because Tilly is the best in all caps.
Tilly is.
We're quite fond of her.
She is something else.
We're quite fond of her. All
right. So we've got Santa's cap here. And you're just going to center it. It's going to be, it starts at this hole.
Okay.
And goes to this hole. So I'm just going to come in the third hole.
Uh-huh.
No. Yes. The third hole on the top edge there.
So you're not
sewing through the wrong.
You're not sewing the two layers together at the same time.
What are you talking about?
You're not sewing the two hat layers together at the same time.
This is not.
I could not be more surprised. Okay, that's
that is not how I prefer to do them.
Okay.
You can do it however you feel it works best.
We've already been over this. We're not here for however anyone else feels it works best.
Just finishing my sentence.
Oh.
This is the way that I put them together, and this is the way that the instructional sheet tells you to put it together. And
so since the hat is behind the fluffy trim part, which that's how hats are made, Sean. Generally speaking. So that's why you're using the white thread.
Yeah.
To match it with the part that's in front there.
Correct.
Okay.
That is why.
Wonderful.
But yeah, I mean, he's coming together pretty quick.
I would also say he's coming together, pretty quickly. But of course, I don't know what the next steps are, so I would believe just about anything that you would say right now.
After this.
Yes, sir. Anything for a raise, sir. That's where I am in this chair.
After this.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if I haven't decided. I keep looking over and realizing I'm not in the right place.
You're doing pretty okay. Sorry, Shari was just reminding us that Tilly needs to work on her lumberjack skills because Miss Shari was doing
all the work.
All the work. Yep.
Yeah. She's something. She's
her lumberjacking skills.
Well, she does have little twiggy arms, that is for sure.
Yeah, but she helps around the house with the lumberjacking projects from time to time.
Or at least she likes to go outside while you are lumberjacking with her ears on.
Yeah, and speaking of her twig arm, she was doing curls yesterday in the basement.
True.
In the basement with
she
me.
Was doing curls yesterday.
She came downstairs and was like, "Oh, Dad's downstairs. Oh, let's go." Next thing you know, I got that 3-pounder in hand, just grunting it out. You know, just going for it like a savage.
She's funny.
Mm-hmm.
She's not so funny this morning. But
early bird today.
Well, not only early bird, but she also didn't go to bed until super late. Like, she wouldn't settle last night, wouldn't go to sleep. And so, part of the reason that I was a little late getting here was because she was having a hard time. And so I got her settled.
Just trying to manage her afternoon.
Yes. I got her settled in the barn with a blanket and a stuffy in the big comfy armchair in my office. And hopefully she's not giving Grandma too hard a time.
I don't know. My vote is that it might have lasted all of 4 minutes, but who knows?
Well, I don't know. She really didn't get enough sleep last night, so we'll see. We shall see.
Sean, do you have a Chattanooga Lookouts hat on? Shari? The answer is yes.
Yes, he does.
If you didn't spy that from a distance, I'm wearing a Chattanooga, Tennessee Lookouts hat. They're the AA affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds. And 2 years ago, when I knew the Reds were going to have a particularly terrible season, I thought, well, rather than wear a Reds hat, let's wear a hat of all the prospects who maybe someday play for the Reds, who are going to have a much better year. And, of course, it's my favorite emoji. So
it is his favorite. I was going to say.
The eyeball emoji
doesn't bring up the emoji.
Is my favorite emoji.
Okay, so that's what Santa looks like on the front. That's what Santa looks like on the back.
Okay.
We're not going to embellish yet, but
he's under our faces right now. Here, I can make us disappear. No,
Here.
Go ahead. Do your thing. We're gone.
There's Santa.
Look, there's Santa.
We will do some embellishing on him in a second, but we're going to do his head, his other parts first.
Oh my gosh, Nikki just said go Cubbies in this chat. You can come back. I'm pouting.
So we're going to mirror image everything. So we're going to flip it all over. And this time we'll start from the top, because why not? So we're going to, again, you're starting third hole. Where am I here? There I am. And then towards the edge. You really are pouting, aren't you? I know what I'm thinking to myself is if I had not watched this video to see these come together, this is not at all. I'm glad you're teaching. This is not at all how I would have attacked the project. I would have been holding like 4 pieces of felt together at once. Yeah.
You know, and just like trying to stitch through all 4 of them at the same time.
Nobody wants that.
I would have gotten off track within about a half an inch of stitching.
No.
And I would have just bull in a china shop, shoved my way through it. And then I would have gotten done and said, like, it doesn't look as good as yours. And then I would have just,
Well, now you know.
Oh, Mom says we're back in the house.
Okay.
Okay.
Heard that.
Welcome back. They came in so quietly. I didn't hear the door.
I know, I didn't hear the door either.
Ooh, okay. Like we're at spy camp already.
That's next week.
Should have put a piece of masking tape over the door like James Bond.
Gonna have to make Tilly a necklace with a jingle bell so we know where she is next week.
I don't think we're gonna do that. You're saying after she comes home from spy camp?
Yes.
Got it. She's gonna be such a sneaky sneak.
Sneaky sneak.
That we have to put a cowbell around her neck?
Correct, yes.
Oh boy. All right, if you say so.
I'm not actually going to make my child a cowbell.
Would you ever, now that we've got the Beautiful Bells kits, would you ever just do a giant cowbell? As a die. You can say no. You don't have to pause forever like that. Ann Fisher length over there. What just happened? What just happened there?
I'm trying to figure out how to diplomatically say probably not.
You don't have to do anything diplomatically. Diplomatically. I get a little refrigerator.
Oh,
a giant jingle bell, Shari says.
I have considered a giant jingle bell. But not a cowbell so much.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to just keep running stitching this bad boy. I love the running stitch because it is efficient and it doesn't use a ton of thread.
But there are many people who backstitch, and that is more than suitable as well.
If that's your preference.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this because then there's fewer tails because you don't have tails at both ends. You just have a tail at one end.
Sure.
And if you backstitch, you can't do the towards the end double back. The knots around the edges and blah. So I prefer the running stitch personally.
Yeah, whichever is more comfortable for you in particular. It's
Sure.
it's like having good knife skills before you really start doing a lot of cooking, which is just to say that having good knife skills makes the work seem less like drudgery.
Yeah.
Than it does like, you want to do the cooking, but first you have to mince an onion, and that takes a lot of time. So the faster you can mince, the better off you are,
Sure.
Same thing here. Like, whatever your stitch is, whatever your weapon of choice.
I can hear you in two places.
Oh, that's okay. Shari says Sean needs more cowbell, and you gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Oh, no.
Yeah, stick with me, and y'all be stitching gold-plated.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Never question Bruce Dickinson.
Right. Okay, so again, we are flipping everything over.
Okay.
Because, did I just do that wrong?
I don't know, did you?
I think I did. No, I didn't.
No, you're good.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, you're
okay.
good.
Yes. Just mirror everything so that it's... I thought that I had done it wrong, but I had not. So you will just want to make sure that the point of your hat and the point of your beard are going to line up when you get everything connected. Sewn together. Okay.
Renee's cheering in the chat for Iron Maiden because I made a Bruce Dickinson reference.
Yeah, yes. It was really a Saturday Night Live Christopher Walken reference, but
but Bruce
same difference.
Bruce Dickinson is what Bruce Dickinson is, it turns out.
Okay.
Okay, there's a lot of enthusiasm for a giant jingle bell. There's at least 3 votes over here.
All right. Jingle bells noted.
Okay.
All right. Again, I'm not coming in the edge because I want to be able to hide that knot inside because it makes it a lot easier to sew around when you have knots on the edges.
So first you stitched the pink hat to the top of the fuzzy band.
Yes.
And now you're stitching the back beard.
Back beard.
Every time you say back beard, I'm hearing Wonderwall by Oasis in my head. For
what?
the lyrics backbeat, the word is on the street, and all I can hear is back beard. Because it's been a big Oasis.
When I say
it's been a humongous Oasis week,
We've had a chat about Oasis a few times this week, yes. No, and when I say backbeard, I think of not cute things. So I'm trying to come up with a better phrase. But yes, so we're sewing the back of Santa's head shape, I guess. I don't know. I got to come up with a better phrase. We're sewing that to the bottom of the hat band.
Okay.
And then we would be ready to tie or to pull everybody together, but we're going to embellish Santa a little bit on the front first to pull in more of those Sweet Dreams colors.
Got it.
Because I really love this new deep teal. I think it is a very pretty color. And I want to see it on all the things for all season. And I didn't use it as much as I wanted to during the release because
sure.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't believe that anybody teals the way I do about you now.
Oh boy. Are you going to do this the whole time?
Only if we can't think of anything else to do.
Great.
Or I guess I could answer your question by saying maybe.
Oh no. It's been a good
See you later.
It's been a good 23 years.
The red light in the camera seems to have gone out. I don't know. I don't know what happened over here. I don't know what's going on there. I just okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it turns out
You're very proud of yourself, I can tell.
Well,
Yep. Ooh, don't get that cut on your. There you go. Here we go.
Audrey says, I love it too. It'll be beautiful for fall as well.
Yes.
It's such a pretty jewel tone.
It is.
Well, you know, the thing about teal, here is the thing about teal, if you did not know this.
I don't know where this is going.
So when the National Hockey League expanded to San Jose 30 plus years ago,
yes,
one of the owner of the San Jose Sharks are trying to figure out, they're trying to figure out the name of the franchise, the colors of the franchise, the mascot of the franchise. And the owner was tight with the owner of...
But this is such a better teal than that.
But he's tight with the owner of... It was either Eddie Bauer or LL Bean. I can't remember which one it was. One of those companies. And he asked him, you know, just like anecdotally about color choice in general. And the guy was like, let me tell you, the color that has like just sold the strongest for like 80 years that like you would never guess is teal. Like it feels like a real kind of 90s color in some ways. But it turns out like no, it is evergreen in the sense that people have loved it for a very long time. Exactly. And so that was a big reason why they went teal there, was because it was like, oh, here's this color that everybody loves. I always think Shari says she thinks that we had this conversation before. Well, maybe I'm possibly. I don't know. Maybe we did, perhaps. Hey Lulu, what's going on, buddy? See, Louie's here because he heard us talking teal. Louie loves the teal. Loves it. All right. Lulu, I'm over here, bud. Please don't jump on the table, okay, buddy? Louis. Hi, buddy. Hi. Squeaky. Squeaky puss. All right. I'm just using a double knot. Double knot is plenty. There we go. Louis, what's up, buddy? So there you've got front of Santa, back of Santa. Mirrored parts. Okay, I see that. Wow, look at that. Okay. So left brain, right brain. So now we're gonna put on some holly. Oh, now it's holly time. Now it's holly time. If there was a quiz about how this thing would be assembled, I would literally have gotten every step of this equation wrong. Every single one. In my head, I'm 0 for 9 or something. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to use the 991, which is our high. Oh, hey, Lulu. Hi, buddy. How's it going, buddy? I'm just going to switch that. Look at that. Hey, buddy. Louis. A little bit of Louis adventure here. Louis. What are you doing, bud? What are you doing? Hi. I know. You like Santa, too, don't you? Yes, everybody likes Santa. Louis says he's okay. Hi. He's okay. Is he bringing me new brothers and sisters, or is he perhaps taking away my brothers and sisters so it could just be... Louis, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Myself. Yeah, I don't know what Louis is doing right now. Oh, he just walk around in circles, huh? Yep. I guess I could put him on full camera. There we go. That looks even better. Hi, buddy. This is like some kind of Godzilla situation now is what we have here. Yep. He's a very clean coat. He is a very clean kitty. Audrey just said angel Louis. Kitty. That's right. Oh, this is where I live now, Mom. Let me zoom that out. If I zoom it out, you'll really get a sense of like what Louis up to. Here you go. There's the full table. Hi, buddy. We got full Louis, full table here, everybody. I'm just going to lean into this. Whoa, Where did I put that needle? I think he laid down on it. Yeah, you better get it out of there. Oh, I can't believe how sassy his face is looking right now. I need my needle, buddy. He's got such a sassy face. Okay, maybe I gotta find a different needle. Oh my gosh, Elegant House Panther is right. Louis. Look at this guy over here. Hey, I need my needle, buddy. Go looking for that needle, okay? I don't know where it went. Okay, if you say so. Louis. Hey. Oh, I was just about to go extreme close-up. Louis. He was on my needle. Well, if he comes back, I'll be ready for him, okay? I'm sure you will. He comes back, I'll be ready. I just need to make sure that the microphone is off. All right. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oh, it won't focus. You know, you make a better door than a window, sir. Sure does, doesn't he? You're a very nice kitty, though. I mean, I've lost the plot here. I don't know what's happening anymore. Just trying to. I'm going to start by attaching one. Where's my camera? Oh, I don't know. Let's do it. You want to do that? Okay, hang on a second. What camera do you want? That's you. That's your camera. Oh, you're trying to figure out where your stitching camera is? Yes. Oh, you're way down there. Let me just bring that back in. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Here I go. Okay, I'm zooming
It's
it.
not a good time. It's not a good time.
There. How about that?
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Don't worry, everybody. Louis is still here.
Lewis, I'm going to go back to work now.
Shari says, this camera shot is great. Shows the real life mess off to the side.
Yeah, it's
That's right. It's real.
It's a disaster. Okay.
Nikki says, look at his socks.
Yes. Lewis is giving me kisses. Lewis never gives me kisses. Hi.
Okay, you have to get back to
I
stitching
know, I'm
now.
sorry.
You
Okay.
have to get back to stitching now, okay?
I'm going to add the holly leaf to the other holly leaf, the base.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave this one, ultimately will be loose.
Yeah.
The other one I will sew down to Santa's hat.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see where.
You're doing great.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Louis.
Yeah, he's here now. This is where he lives now. This is where Louis lives.
He says, hi, everybody.
This is me. I'm Louis.
I'm Lewis.
And this is where I live. And I'm a member of this family.
I was here before.
I was here before.
Either
a
one
lot
of
of
the
people
cats
are.
or Tilly.
That's exactly right. I'm trying to get him. I've left the chat. I'm just trying to get a Louis cam going here because of how ridiculous he is. There's a little Louis cam for everybody. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on back, Lulu. Okay.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, now you can see the shelf behind him too.
Oh, good.
So it's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse, not better. It's getting much worse.
I know. Let's show the messiest room in our house on camera.
Don't worry, it's all worth it for Lulu. There he is. Look, I got him. Oh yeah, he's just right on now. Oh. Okay, here he is.
Okay, you gotta get off Santa Claus, bud.
Is he named after Interview with the Vampire? No. Louis is named after Louis Armstrong. Because What a Wonderful World was our first dance at our wedding, and because he's a tuxedo cat.
Yes.
Yeah, so all of that. Those are all the reasons why. Okay, I'm putting the camera back on me only because you can just, see so much of him in the main shot right now. Why would I have to?
He is straight up
boy.
laying down.
This camera is it's destroyed now. Everything, the wheels are coming off. The wheels are coming off.
This is sort of an indicator of how the week is
yeah, if you're joining us for the first time, I assure you it's always like this. Yeah.
It's not.
If you're joining us for the first time.
Okay.
It's like this all the time.
Where am I?
You should just push him off the table now. I think we've had enough of Louis. Okay, I'm going to get him out of here.
I'm sewing that he knows what's happening.
Lulu, come on.
You can see it.
You're out. You're out.
Louis.
Nope, you're out.
Oh, buddy.
See you later, buddy. You gotta go. Okay.
He's not leaving. He's coming back.
Back on track. No, thank you.
I'm not telling you. I'm not welcoming him back. I'm just letting you know what's going to happen.
Okay, we're stitching teal, I think is where we left off.
Yeah, we're stitching on I used contrasting threads for the veining on the teal.
Okay.
And the vintage glass, which is the other color that's there.
Sure you did.
So 3851 is vintage glass's number.
3851 is vintage glass's number.
Son of a gun.
Son of a gun. You're doing great, I think.
It's not on the thing.
What's not on the thing? It was. The whole time you were adjusting and fussing.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. You're doing great. My camera is jacked after messing with Louis. Oh, it's bad.
Okay, well.
Oh, there we go. That
We're on our A game today, everybody.
Get it all set up here.
And I don't have, holes in the hat, so I'm just using the holes in the holly as a guide for where I'm stitching.
Oh, so you didn't die cut a set of holes.
No, because there isn't a set of holes. There isn't a holes only die for this die, and I only used half of the die because I only needed half of it to do what I wanted to do. So I just eyeballed it with using the stitching holes in the holly as a guide.
Right on.
Gracious. Okay. It's only 4 stitches anyway, so.
That's okay. And Holly Jolly has been around for quite a long time, has it not?
First of all, Holly Jolly debuted last year.
Okay.
Secondly, this is from All Aglow.
Okay, great. Thank you. Look, there's been a lot happening here. It's been a very dynamic episode.
There's a lot of cat hair.
There's a lot of cat fur.
Well,
Okay, so those are the leaves from All Aglow.
Yes.
And it was only 4 stitches down the center of each of them.
Yes.
And
I'm just gonna add the little doodad here.
Okay. That's a holly berry.
Yeah. Well, fine. You call it what you want.
I will call it what I want.
Great. And I'm going to add a sequin to one of them, but then I'm gonna add just beads to the other ones.
Oh, so there's going to be some sparkle embellishment here.
A little bit of sparkle.
Okay.
Not a lot, just a little.
If someone wanted to put a twinkle in Santa's eye, would they be able to do that with this set? Or no, because his eyes seem to be closed?
Well, you could if you wanted to, theoretically.
Okay.
You could put
Designy bits. Yes, that's right. Designy bits.
You could use small sequins and beads to make eyes.
Small sequins and beads to make eyes?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Like right here, like this.
Like that. Hang on, I'm looking.
Where am I? Where? Oh.
You're doing fine. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Right? You could
Yeah.
do that.
You could do that if you wanted to.
If you wanted him to have eyeballs.
Okay.
Or, I think Renee used, like, those little pearl top button things.
Uh-huh.
Is Renee in the chat? Maybe she can tell you.
She's probably typing right now. We're just waiting for it to catch up here.
Or you could use just the beads by themselves, and then those would look more like eyebrows. But yes, my idea behind it was, look, he's a smiling Santa, and he's so happy, and he's smiling so hard his eyeballs are closed.
Renee said glass eyes.
Yeah. They're like I think they're usually in like the doll making, stuffy making kind of section.
Okay.
They are notions that one can use.
Okay.
But that's not a thing that I typically have on hand, so.
Just to be clear, I did look at Renee's projects, but now that I'm seeing them again, I'm like, oh yeah, that. You saw that already, Sean.
Yeah.
Same with Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She used to on that whole...
that whole thing. Yeah, the whole frame.
Which was awesome.
She said at least a 4 millimeter.
At least a 4 millimeter.
Is what you're looking for if you want to put some eyeballs on these particular Kringle crew members.
There you go. That is what Renee suggests, is at least a 4 millimeter. So
the Kringle crew chronicles.
What?
The Kringle crew chronicles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna, again, this needle has a very petite eye on it, so I'm just using a regular sewing needle or a regular embroidery needle here to do my beading. If your beads keep getting caught up on the regular embroidery needles, beading needles are great. If you got the kit, there's one in your kit. If you didn't get the kit, we do have packs of 4 available in the store.
And take it from me, those beads get real small. I had to use a beading needle on this very program last week, if you'll recall. On this very television program last week.
Television, huh?
Yeah, when I was stitching for someone's birthday.
We're like public access cable.
We are definitely like public access cable. Yeah, definitely like that.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we are Wayne's World. Party time.
Excellent.
Come bust a move where the games are played. Okay.
So I'm just I guess I didn't explain very well. I'll explain the last bead here a little bit better.
You're saying you didn't explain your beading process?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've done that in the past, but if anybody could use a little assistance, I come up through the felt. In this case, I'm coming through the hole in the holly berry, but
there is a hole there in the holly berry?
In the holly berry.
Okay, wonderful.
And then I'm threading on my bead, and then I'm coming back down through the hole, but on the back there's no hole, so I'm sort of leaving a gap.
Okay.
Can anybody see that?
No, I can't see that there's a gap, but you've explained it. Yeah, there's a gap in between where you came up and where you went back down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I want the bead to have some felt to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
when I tie off.
And you're tying it off. And this is the end of the embellishments. From here, we think we're just cruising around Santa's beard and hat.
What time is it?
It is 2:11 Eastern Daylight Time.
Then yes.
Okay. And you're going to sew the hat, I presume, in pink thread, and you're going to sew the beard in white thread.
Yeah.
Presumably. Oh, great.
There he is.
So there you go. You lay him down flat there. We can... Wow.
Okay.
Maybe lift him towards the camera a little bit. You can see him a little bit higher even. Lift him up a little bit. No, lift him. Like, really lift him. He looks so nice. Look at that. Hey, Lulu. Buddy. There you go. All right, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Okay. So you've got your front and your back. You're going to sandwich them. And you're going to line everybody up here. And you have your pom-pom top. Now, I prefer to do this part with all 4 layers, through all 4 layers. And you can, Lewis.
Oh, Boylan's Lewis. Hey, move it.
You're standing on Santa's face, bud. Okay. So, I'm going to start at the top and work my way down, but that's just a personal preference. And I'm going to do a hanger, but I'm going to do it more through the top of his head rather than through his palm there at the top.
You're going to do it through more the top of his head?
Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise he'll hang, or if you put the hanger through his palm, he's going to hang crooked.
Oh, I understand. Thank you.
Because it's offset.
I understand. Thank you.
Because I thought doing a full-on palm would look like a top. He would look a little silly. Like, you got to put a little bend in that cap. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe the cat is still down here, just trolling around,
prancing, waiting for his opening.
Waiting for his spot, huh?
Yep. Yeah, he definitely is. Okay. So I'm gonna go through the center here.
Okay.
And I start it without any of the layers on because it's just plain easier for me personally. So then I'm going to thread on the layer there. And there is a right way to hang. Yes, okay. So I got that on there. And then I'm going to come through the next hole. I gotta make sure I'm actually...
You're doing okay. You're doing okay. I was watching that time.
You're going to come through all 3 layers, making sure you're on the same hole of all 3 layers till it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to bring on the other layer, and I'm going to make sure that I'm coming through the correct... I think it's this one.
And that's just to make sure that he's got a little white pom-pom on his hat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, like, there is a right way to line everything up. So you just have to make sure that everything's actually lined up. When you've got this many layers, it can sometimes be tricky.
Got it. Somebody just asked about how Audrey was able to get the rosy cheeks there. And she shared, and I'll say this out loud so that we can have it on video, but she used the Worn Lipstick Distress ink in a tiny circular blending brush, just adding layers until she was happy with the saturation.
That's awesome. I wondered. I've seen people get makeup just to be able to put like rosy cheeks on felt creations, but I don't know how well that holds up. So it's good to know that she used the ink.
Got it. So now that
I don't think my pom-pom on the back is lined up correctly.
So there's a pom-pom on the front and there's a pom-pom on the back.
Yes, and I don't think it's lined up correctly on the back. So I'm gonna...
Why is it that the circle... I'm sorry, you're saying there's a very particular way that the circles have to line up?
Well, they're stitching holes.
You're just making sure the stitching holes line up, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe instead, usually I only go through 1 or 2 layers at a time, but maybe I will actually go through all. I'll have them all held together to make sure that I'm Yes, because now they're all together. So I'm just gonna hold on.
Just gonna go for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
Well, okay.
Tracy says, I usually use my pan pastel, but I like the DI idea better. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference between these two products.
I think one is like a paint.
Oh.
And one is an ink. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to essentially thread my needle with one hand here.
Do you want me to hold on to something or
No? I need to keep my stitching holes lined up. There we go.
You're so fancy. You're threading a needle with one hand.
Well, you know. Okay. So normally I don't hold all the layers together, but I was having a hard time with my pom-pom, so I'm going to just continue by holding all the layers together until I know that I've got enough of them done that it's not going to...
Pan pastels are like a chalky puck of color. Okay, got it. I'm familiar with pastels being that.
He's Googling y'all.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, great. Great, okay.
Okay. And because I did it from the back, I'm now going in the reverse of my normal direction, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine, yes. It's clockwise or counterclockwise. You can do, choose your own adventure here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're going to tie that off when you're done because the white is at the bottom of the beard. You're not using the white thread on the pink hat.
Correct.
Okay.
But you can, by doing it this way, you hide your tails inside the hat, so you don't have to worry about getting the tails hidden because they're already hidden. They're inside the hat.
Got it.
Because we started inside the hat, between the layers there. So I'm just going around twice. People ask me all the time if they have to go around twice. They don't have to. I just like the way that it looks by going around the second time.
Uh-huh.
Because it fills in all those open stitches.
Okay.
But you don't have to. There are times when I like the broken stitch look, but especially when there's this many layers, it feels like there's a texture change. Does that make sense? No? Okay.
Say it again.
If you only go through every other stitch, it's like wavy. Never mind.
Okay.
So I like it better when you do it both. Okay, so we're pulling here through and we're going to knot this off. Yes, tie this off.
With the pastels, this Tracy uses the foam tip makeup applicator is what I just learned.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you can get, like I said, I've seen people use like actual blush and stuff too. And I suppose it's probably cheaper than most art supplies if you get like an inexpensive blush at like the drugstore. So.
I love a good pastel.
Indeed.
I love a good video of how to make pastels. Very chalky video. Okay.
There we go.
So now that's all connected.
Now that's all connected, and we're gonna do his hat.
Great. I'm about to zoom it out and just let you stitch it on your own self here.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. From here, it's truly
from
just
here. We're just doing the border. We're just doing the perimeter.
I also wonder if I have enough this color to do the whole. I think I do.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I didn't grab a skein, and I should have.
You're gonna stitch it together with 2 strands instead of.
No, I'm gonna do all 3. I'm just evening it up here to start.
Okay, if you say so.
Don't do that.
I'll wait until you're actually actively stitching before I back the camera out.
Before you back it out?
Yeah, before I back the camera out.
The problem with you backing the camera out is that I think it makes people worried that they're not going to get to see the finished product, and that's not what we're trying to do.
Oh, that's okay. I like that tension. I like people being a little bit nervous. A lot of people.
You do make people a little bit nervous.
People at the edge of their seat, like, I'm so invested,
So silly.
I'm so invested. What's going to happen?
I won't let him turn off the cameras, everybody.
Or maybe you don't have a choice in the matter either.
Oh, excuse me?
Yeah, maybe you don't. I'm the one manning the iPad over here. You can pry it from my cold fingers. Okay. I'm still trying to get my camera reset for when Louis was here earlier.
I didn't tell you to move your camera.
Well, it was a pretty good idea.
You still have it on the table.
Yeah, it's okay. I said I wasn't going to get started until you were actually actively stitching the hat.
Actively stitching.
Well, give me a shout when you're stitching then, wouldn't you? Dang.
Bro, you're sitting right next to me.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get my camera sorted out over here. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So now
you're stitching.
Now we're just going to stitch.
We're just going to finish this thing off.
Just doing it in the running stitch.
That way you get a chance to look your audience in the eye.
Well, I'm sort of looking at Santa's hat.
I said look them in the eye. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, great. And so, and the crochet thread hanger is going to go on the top as well. I can imagine a Christmas tree with nothing but Santa Claus heads just floating.
Or cookies. Christmas tree with all cookies.
With all cookies. Mm-hmm.
Don't think I haven't thought of adding a tree, sir.
People could also do the thing with, instead of the stick figures on the back of their automobile, right? They're doing Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and all the kids that they have. So then you have to do like a little tiny dog.
A little elf for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Rainbow Santa hats is what Shari just said. Rainbow Santa hats.
Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be cute.
I think the more rainbow that he gets, though, does he start to look like a troll or not? The hat is different enough. Yeah, like little trolls.
No, he doesn't look
little
like
lucky trolls. Little, what were those things we had? Yeah, like we had back in the 90s, you know, the little, you taking them to bingo trolls. You know what I'm talking about.
All right. I've got half of his hat done here.
Do you have enough thread for the other half of his hat or not?
I think I do.
You think you do. Okay, but we're not entirely sure.
Positive.
Huh? Shari says trolls. They didn't have hats.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, but other or gnomes. Gnomes are the ones that have hats?
Gnomes have hats. Those are the things that Gigi has all over her apartment.
Gnomes.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if we're blurring the line when Santa gets many different colored hats, if we're somewhere in troll gnome world at that point.
Definitely have enough thread, just so we're clear.
They had the crazy hair, and they didn't have beards either.
They didn't. It's true. They did not. Sometimes they had funny little clothes, but no beards. Okay, to do a crochet thread hanger, I'll just do it in this camera real quick.
That's okay.
I'm just going to snip off some length of crochet thread.
When I did this last week, you were very prescriptive about how long the thread should be.
It's between like 7 and 8 inches. It's
7 and 8 inches.
Ornament length.
Ornament length. Okay. I remember this happening.
However long you want it to be when it's hanging on a tree.
This is definitely a conversation we have had before.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So, looped. And knotted at the ends.
Knotted at the ends.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it.
And I'm starting my stitching at the... How do I do this best?
I don't know.
I'm starting my stitching here at the base of the pink.
Okay.
So that way I can tuck my ends in, as opposed to if I started up here, you gotta thread your ends in. But if you start it down here, you can just tuck them in.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it'll make more sense when you start stitching.
Okay. So I'm just doing the pink. You come between the layer of his cuff and his hat.
Okay.
Because you just want the thread to be on the inside so you can tie it off later.
And the reason that we didn't just go all the way around the side is because of the pom-pom on top? Is that it?
What are you talking about?
Like, we didn't just start on one end and go all the way around, did we? Or that's what we're doing right now?
That's what we're doing right now.
I thought you already started on a section of the hat. Did we stop and tie it off?
Over here. Yeah, because the pom-pom was there.
That's what that's what I said. I said, did we stop and tie this off because of the... Okay, so you didn't even... Okay, got it.
I mean, you could do the whole blank. There's no reason you couldn't. It's just that my thread was short and I didn't feel like dealing with it.
Renee Lynch is very excited to say he would be a great-looking Papa Smurf. Someone needs to stitch him in blue.
There you go.
I don't know. Did the Smurfs last into the 21st century? Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know that the Smurfs had great staying power. Like, are they streaming?
Didn't they have movies? They had movies.
Get out of here! There was one. I think you're right. Wasn't there?
Why would I make that?
Like a few years ago. Oh, when I say a few years ago, I mean 2025.
What?
2025.
I thought there was one before.
Oh no, it's literally about to come out.
Oh.
It's coming out on July the 18th.
I don't know, Sean. Do they have staying power?
We're about to find out when this movie decides to flop.
Oh, stop!
Oh my gosh! Guess who is going to be Papa Smurf?
Who?
Guess.
Jason Segel.
No, John Goodman.
Oh.
Guess who's going to be Smurfette?
I don't know.
Rihanna.
Really?
Yes. Why would I? I have no reason to make this up.
I know you don't.
Guess who's going to portray Ron in the Smurf movie? Kurt Russell.
No.
It's Kurt Russell.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's a very Kurt Russell day.
Wait, Deb says it's coming out on her birthday, the 18th, and she's going to see it. Deb, slow down. That's not your birthday. That's my sister's birthday. Nice try, though. Nice try. I guess the Smurf movie's coming out on my sister's birthday.
There you go.
There you go.
Not coming out on Cheddar's. That's the day before. All right. So when you go to sew in your
Shari's telling me to pay attention.
Your hanger, you just sew through the loop. You just make sure that you've got a stitch through the loop. That way, it's nice and secure.
Yeah. I remember watching a lot of the Smurfs, but I can't tell you anything about the Smurfs at this moment in time.
Actually, same.
I don't think I was trying to.
I don't remember childhood.
What I was trying to think about is what the Kurt Russell Smurf would have tattooed inside his lip, and I couldn't think of anything.
So what Sean's really trying to say is he just wanted to bring back the joke and couldn't figure out how to do
nothing. Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not the Care Bears, Sarah. That was the Care Bears, right? It's not Thundercats, ho ho, because that's the Thundercats.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
I never got to watch the Thundercats.
Exactly.
Thundercats were not part of my
What year was she born? I was born 2 days before the first man walked on the moon. Okay, so she was not born before the first man walked on the moon in the year of 1969. I'm trying to think of something clever to say the year without saying the year.
I don't know what to say. Oh, you're Googling now?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, return the favor here. Let's see here. Oh, that isn't it. Don't use that one. That's not so good.
Is that a Waco reference or something?
No, it wasn't It wasn't quite that, but it was certainly less good than that. That's not a good one either. There's no good news in 1981. Okay, that's the year it was. It was in 1981.
He gave up, everybody. He gave up.
Yeah. Okay, nice try.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. Yeah, nothing, man.
All right.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you what happened. My sister was born 9 days after Donkey Kong was released. There you go.
You could just ask your mom. She's in like the other room.
Yeah, Mom's not gonna know anything about Donkey Kong.
I didn't mean about Donkey Kong, dear. You're so proud of yourself.
Very funny. Very funny.
Okay.
Someone says they're coming out with another Smurf movie, which means there must have been a first.
I thought there was a Smurf movie.
Well, this one is just called the Smurf movie, right? So, there was one in 1978.
Okay.
Okay, go on.
So we've got Santa's hat is done.
Okay, great.
And since his beard and his hat band are the same color, I'm just going to use one big long strip of white to do the rest.
Got it.
Here.
Okay, there was one in 2011 and then again in 2013.
I take that back.
Wow.
I'm gonna make this chunks for my own ease, personally.
Okay. I believe the Smurfs came from Belgium.
Did they?
Yeah, I believe they came from Belgium originally.
Isn't that where our EU representative is now?
No, that's not it. We don't talk about that. Yeah, I believe they came from. So there was a movie in 2011, in 2013, and then they canceled a third one 2 weeks after they announced it. Oh, Hank Azaria played live action Gargamel. Okay, great.
All right, so I'm going to come down here to where I stopped the hat band.
Uh-huh.
Right here.
Yep.
And I'm going to start there.
Great.
And I'm just leaving the tail out the side. And so I'm essentially finishing the hat band on this side. If that makes sense.
You're finishing the hat band on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm coming up around the edge.
Uh-huh.
And then up onto the top where there's the gap in the hat band up there.
See, Mom says right.
Right, like she wouldn't know anything about Donkey Kong?
I think so,
no?
Yeah. Oh, was Smurfs? No, yeah, that was, I would say, Barbara said that the Smurf movie had the good Justin Timberlake music, but then that was Trolls. That's right, okay. But then now the conversation's back to Trolls again. Either. This is great. This is so great. Everything is just looping back on itself.
It is a
weird
day.
We're in a Kurt Russell Trolls loop is where we are here, everybody. It's all coming together.
It's a weird day.
Thread has a direction and it's bending in on itself like space-time and the Trolls and Kurt Russell.
Oh my gosh.
Who is in the Smurfs movie.
I'm gonna tie it off after I untangle it from itself.
I'll be waiting for the David the Gnome movie. That's what I'm holding out for.
Oh, that little guy with the red hat?
You mean David the Gnome? Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, he was cute.
My guy, look at him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That was a Spanish series.
Oh, was it?
It seems to be the case, yeah.
Apparently, all of my childhood memories come from other places.
Turns out Nickelodeon did not know how to make its own content, and it was just out there just scouring the globe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So that
attempting to reconnect there for a second. We may have dropped.
Did we?
Yeah, maybe for just a second as we're getting to the very end. For some reason, YouTube's decided.
YouTube has decided you've done it. You've had enough.
Yeah, YouTube.
What with the cat and the Kurt Russell references.
Oh yeah, the whole thing. We really went
across
places.
the Rubicon on this.
We really went places on this particular live here. Really went places.
I feel like this one is maybe one of our more chaotic episodes.
Well, that's okay. Santa is an agent of chaos. He comes into our homes. He delivers presents for all the good girls and boys.
And joy.
And then as those things start to become unwrapped, chaos ensues.
Chaos does ensue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've got sides are done, and then the only thing left to do is his beard.
Okay.
So.
Just watching the clock over here.
I know. What time is it?
It's 2:35.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, everybody.
I don't know if everybody's like me and they cleared their calendar this afternoon, you know? Cleared my calendar to be here, that's for sure. What? Why are you looking at me like that? No one knows how closely we sit together, okay? No one knows.
I think they're starting to figure it out.
The Santa is very cute. You know, while you were getting your thread together, I could have reached over here, and I could have gone like that, and I could have gone like this, and then I could be like, oh, look, don't worry, we're getting so close. Look, there he is. He's very cute. He's surrounded by these thread schemes.
I should have stuffed him, but I don't know where my stuffing is.
Yeah, we don't know where our stuffing is.
So that's why he's not stuffed. This is the point at which I would stuff him. Because I've done most of the perimeter.
Thank you, Barbara. Barbara's just reminding everybody to smash a like on our video today. That's very nice.
That's very kind.
That's great.
Because it is bonkers. Today is bonkers.
Today's is bonkers. If you want to share with your friends...
maybe don't share this.
No, this is perfect. This is a perfect example of the kind of videos that we're trying to bring to people.
Is it chaos and kitty cats?
Chaos and cats And this is what crafting is like. People at home are crafting under similar circumstances.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Far
Similar
off.
circumstances where they're trying to remember movies and their kids are coming in the room and asking questions and their cats are jumping on their laps.
Don't jinx it, because I think she's in the bathroom.
And they don't know where the fluff is. Like, this is real. This is real life.
It is indeed.
Yeah, this is real. We're not, you know.
I have batting, but I don't have it cut or anything. So
leave it alone. Santa doesn't need any
We're
batting.
just gonna go. We're just gonna go. He's just gonna be a flat Santa.
Yeah, flat Santa. That's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're just gonna do the running stitch all the way around the edge.
Here we go. I've been thinking a lot about that song "Skinny Santa" when you've been working on these Santas.
The one.
Oh yeah, "Hey Skinny Santa." Yeah.
Isn't that what's his face?
We need a big Santa because it's almost Christmas time. Yeah, the whole song's about how Santa he's too skinny.
He needs to eat.
That 31 waistline is not going to make it happen here during
No.
Christmas time.
It's not gonna do it.
Yeah. That's our guy. That's from the album. That's from the Christmas album Socks. If you're not familiar with it, you go Google the Christmas album Socks. His name is.
I don't remember.
Hang on, I'm right there. I wish I could remember it, but I can't. J.D. McPherson.
There you go.
There you go. J.D. McPherson Socks. This is perfect stitching music. At Christmas time, that is. Oh yeah.
I usually during Christmas in July, I do play Christmas music for myself while I'm stitching, but it was just too darn hot for me to even pretend that I was in a Christmassy mind.
Definitely pretty warm.
Christmassy place in my brain. It was too hot.
Too hot.
So mostly I was just, I don't know.
Yeah, but the vast majority of packages were shipped.
Yes. We're getting so close.
So close to having them all out, and then the pre-orders will be coming through too.
Everything, all the standard orders will be out hopefully tomorrow.
Yes.
All the regular in stock, everything's ready to go. Orders will be out tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll be out tomorrow.
And then we had enough stock on hand to do, I want to say about a third of the pre-orders.
Yeah, so those will go out pretty quickly
those
too.
will go out pretty quickly
Although
too.
the people who are here in the chat right now, they are probably the folks who were there, you know, at 12:01
I don't know.
on Saturday, 12:02. Some of them were probably like water skiing or tubing at the time.
After packing for 2 days straight, I said to Sean, I said, just for giggles, tell me what time order number, whatever it was, came in. And he said 12:16, and I said, okay.
Yeah, we had one round of packages went out yesterday first thing in the morning, and then we kept packing all afternoon, and so I took the other round right at 4 o'clock. So we basically had 2 big rounds of stuff go out during the day yesterday.
And then another big round went out this morning.
Then another big round went out this morning. So there you go.
Hopefully the rest of the...
We know Christmas is coming soon, you know, so you've got to... Yeah, Christmas Eve is coming soon, my dear old man. So...
I understand. I understand the urge to make gifts for people and want them to be
and get it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get a start.
You already went one side around the beard, didn't you?
I went around the beard once.
Okay, so you've got 5 minutes to finish this bad boy off.
I can do it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you had more time, you could add more stuff to Santa to decorate him.
What could you do to decorate Santa some more if you had time?
You could make a pom-pom for his hat. The pom-pom maker that we have.
Oh, you can make a pom-pom for his hat.
A pom-pom for his hat.
What would you do if you wanted to put like crumbs in his beard? Would you do something?
I don't know that I would. I would probably do some straight stitches to look like whiskers.
Would you ever use like an overcast or a pewter for a particularly elderly Santa? Like if he was really getting older and you wanted his beard to be like a little bit gray?
I think.
Or are we getting too close to Graybeard Pirate where we started this episode?
No.
No.
I was thinking Blackbeard anyway.
Blackbeard, got it.
I think that the overcast is like a younger Santa. He's like a Santa who has not gone full shock white yet.
Barbara just yelled gross at me talking about putting food in his crumbs.
Well, you know,
little beard, little.
I would not do
little
that
beads, little beady beads there. You know,
I would not do that.
You wouldn't do that. Little shortbread, little colored beads there, just popping around.
No, I would not do that thing.
Okay, I mean, he eats a lot of cookies.
Again, I would put some whiskers.
Okay.
You could always add like one strand of silver if you wanted to really add some dimension with metallics, or you could add more beads in sequence to his hat or his pom-pom. Or
you could do some swirly stitches for curls.
You could do some swirly stitches for curls.
Sure. Okay.
Or some like standalone lazy daisies for like just a little texture.
Oh.
But no, I probably would do some straight stitches for whiskers.
Got it.
But you know, you could also I intentionally made the back big enough that you could put a monogram on the back. You could maybe put a monogram on the hat too, in the front if you wanted to, but on the back for sure you have plenty of space to put a monogram back there.
Loads of options. And you did put the year, I've seen, or you or somebody else put the year on the back of theirs.
I put the year on the on the Sip Sip Hooray die.
I saw a year on the back. It could have been like Audrey's or somebody
might
have had the year on the back of her Santa Claus.
I like putting the year on things, so I know that, so I'll be able to go back and see when I made stuff. Because I don't blog everything that I make, and so being able to put the years on things just helps me remember when stuff was made. Okay, so this last this last knot we will have to hide because it's on an edge.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can get you on camera there. If you go up and to the left.
Over here?
There you go. You're right on it there. Yep.
So I came between, so both my tails were between the felt.
Okay.
Double knot.
Yep.
And then you're going to come between here, between the layers of felt.
Yep, you're doing okay. You're going to come in between the layers. You're going to pull through out one of the layers.
It doesn't really matter where, because you're pulling it tight enough that the end will retract. And then this needle has a bigger eye, so let's use that to do the other tail.
You're doing that thing again where you're putting the needle in first and then you're threading the thread onto the needle. Yeah, because
I've
still never done that.
The tail is shorter.
That's why I use a long tail.
Okay, well the tail is shorter, and so I'm going to use the threader to thread this needle.
Got it.
Ooh. There we go. Ooh, There we go.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pull that through.
And snip it, and there it is, folks. That's going to be our project for the day today. Now, next week, we're going to be stitching...
It's another one of the new.
Another one of the new.
So I'm going to put up, actually, I was curious about this because I hadn't decided which one to do next week.
Oh.
And so I'll put up a little poll with a couple of options.
Okay.
How about that?
Onto Instagram?
Yes.
Or here, if you have a preference for what die you'd like us to stitch next week.
Yeah, just let us know. Here's Santa Claus.
Drop it into the chat.
I like him.
There you go.
Cute.
And, the chat will be here for a few more moments if we need to. But if you've got an idea about what you want to see us stitch from the new release, you let us know. Not
the kit, because the kit's got its own video.
Kit's got its own video. Yep.
But there's the reindeer, there's the Mrs. Claus, and there's the Sip Sip Hooray, and there's the gift box, and there's all kinds of options.
Lots of options, okay. Well, thanks for joining us this week. And we will see you again